I'm taking on my biggest album project ever in my 23 years of scrapbooking. If we've never met or if you've never watched my channel, I'm Donna Guest, the lazy scrapbooker and independent advisor for Creative Memories. It's not that I'm lazy, I just like fast pages, and I've never needed pages as fast as I do right now. My husband is retiring after over 25 years in the fire service. He has been in the fire service or the military since he was 18 years old, and I am so proud of him. This is the wall when you come down the steps to our basement. I decided to hang all of this here, and I call it the Wall of Service. So I am certainly going to make a scrapbook for his career and to have it started. And his retirement is in 2 months. If you've watched my power layout video, you saw this huge military scrapbook I made for him after 20 years of service. So now I have another big project, but this time I'm not going to leave it in the power layout kit for 9 years before I finish it. He's retiring in 2 months, and I am going to have this album finished before his retirement celebrations at work and with friends and family outside of work. I know I can do this because I have a process, and I want to share my process with you so that it will help you with your albums. And this is going to help keep me accountable and on track. So I'll be here on YouTube every week with a short video showing my steps in accomplishing this. I'd call it somewhere between a vlog and a scrapbooking reality series. Hair and makeup are going to be optional, and you're probably going to see a really messy workspace. It's going to be very, very real. So get ready to be part of the process of my biggest scrapbooking project ever. You're going to see the problems I encounter and how I solve them. This will be a weekly series for 11 weeks over the next 2.5 months, and I am so glad you're here. I hope you're going to learn a lot that will help you with your album projects. Now let's get started with episode 1. Look at all of this memorabilia and these prints. I've been collecting it in this bin for years now, and there's a few papers that have to do with fire in the bottom. I'm not so much concerned about papers and embellishments as I am about the actual memorabilia. So look at all this, and then there's more right here. And I just ordered over 330 more photo prints today from Creative Memories, so I got a lot more to add, and who knows what else I will find along the way. This is such a big project, over 25 years in fire service, and so I had to take drastic measures. So today I opened up about 6 packages of these Power Simple pockets, not the sleeves, but the pockets. The pockets are only open on one side, and they're closed on the other 3 sides. So I got out my label maker, and I did one. I joked about this on my Facebook page, but I did one for every year from 1999 all the way to 2024. I always use our pool table to stage things, and this has so many pockets that I couldn't even fit them all on the pool table. Wow, look at this. I always talk about how I started into Creative Memories, and it was when my friend Michelle, whose husband is also a firefighter, was over at our house looking at our photos, and I had them in those old sticky albums that you had to rip the pages up. You know, they're so bad for your photos. And I had captions. This is one of the captions I had typed and put in the album. And she looked at these albums and said, Donna, you need to do Creative Memories. And I said, I don't know what that is. And so she said, I'm going to invite you to a party. Come, and if you buy one thing, buy an album. So the rest is history. Here I am, goodness, like almost 25 years later. Okay, I've got all my folders laid out for all the years, and I'm starting to put everything in them. Here's 1999, it's taking shape here. And then I'm just grabbing the easy things, the things that have dates on them, and I'm putting those away. Anything that doesn't have a date, I'm going to have to ask Jeff to help me with so I can sort these out. August 01 is going to go, obviously, in my 2001 folder. Then I've got a whole box of photos that were printed, and ooh, they have dates on the back. They all say February 2005, so I'm going to bring those down here to 2005. And look at this. Wow, I haven't seen these in a while. Hey, Nathaniel, do you know what these are?
No.
Of course he doesn't. He's only 18, so he hasn't seen these, but we all know what they are. They are negatives from an actual real camera. So if you're watching, you know what these are, I'm sure. This is not going to help anything. This one says, handwritten on it, by me, don't use. So I got 25 years to try to put in one album. You don't have to tell me twice. Done. I gotta say, I've never been a fan of these dates that are printed on the picture because I feel like it ruins the photo, but I gotta admit, they're coming in handy right now because otherwise I'd have no idea. Oh my gosh, it's a newspaper article in one of these pages. This is the old kind of album I used to have all my photos in. I hope it's gonna be able to come out of this okay. Let's see. It might be okay. We'll see. I don't know how I'm going to get it off of that. We'll have to use the multi-tool to see if I can remove it from this sticky page. I emptied the container. I'm kind of scared that I've emptied it all and that's all I have. It worries me a little bit. It seems like there should be more. I may be missing something somewhere. I'll have to ask Jeff tomorrow. But I do have these set aside. They are stickers and papers I've bought over the years or found or saved. And I'll use the stickers sparingly because this album is really not about decorating for me. It's about the photos and the memories. And honestly, he's not going to care how it looks. It's going to look neat. It's going to look great. It's going to be fantastic. And here's what I've done this evening. I've got all my folders. Most of them have something in it. Here's the more recent years over here, which scares me just a little bit. They're pretty sparse. But like I said, I ordered about 330 something pictures today. So I should have lots more. And there's no telling what he has for me that he hasn't given me. So I've got 4 piles here that are left over to ask Jeff for the date. Some things to ask him if we were going to include these. This that says don't use, according to me, I guess. And my favorite, authentic embellishments. Like I said, I'm going to play it kind of simple on stickers and things. Even if I use any of them, I don't know because, you know, they're so cutesy, and this is not a cutesy job at all. So I think the embellishments that he will appreciate most are patches, and this was clearly ripped right off of a shirt that he wasn't using anymore. So that's going to be the coolest thing to put in the album. Just look how thick these are. So they're going to take up a little more room in the album. So you can place your bet right now to see if I'm going to get all this in one album or is it going to take 2. We'll see. Time will tell. It's the next day and all of my stuff is still here. Of course, it's going to be here for a few days as I get organized. Jeff got home from work this morning, and upon my request, he went through his stuff, records, and to get any memorabilia that I don't have, which is good because it's looking a bit sparse over here. And he brought me this. It's a giant bag. You can see in here, all kind of stuff. There are, ooh, wow, more patches, more, oh, here's a composite photo. That's nice. That's not going to fit in an album. We don't have an album that big, so certainly not going to make it in there. But there's lots of articles and things, and oh wow, notebook. I just don't even know. But so he and I are going to have to get together on this. But he did his job a little too well. So that's my next challenge. Okay, those are 2003. So right now we are sorting as a family the huge bag of items that Jeff brought me. It's a lot of newspaper articles for different fires that he worked on. So I'm going to be able to include those. Mission accomplished. We sorted out everything in the bag that's going to be included in the album. I thought I was done. I thought we had all the pictures. But then he asked me about a specific one on his computer and I said, no, I haven't seen that. And then he just loaded everything on a flash drive and gave it to me. And now I'm going through them again and trying to find some other pictures. So we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. This is the last time I should be looking at pictures tonight. We'll see. I feel really great about the progress we made today. I was able to get most of the missing dates on the photos from my photo storage software. And after talking with Jeff, some pictures that I thought were just random photos, he remembered where they were and they paired with the newspaper articles that had the dates on them so that we could pair a newspaper article that he might have been in and some photos with it. We actually really enjoyed doing this today. It was great for him to look back on these memories. And hey, we don't even have the album done yet, but I loved hearing about all these stories as well. It was like a puzzle dating some of these things because this particular article right here that has Jeff in a photo did not have a date. It was a clipping and no one put the date on it. Can you imagine? And then on the other side though, we see actress Patty Duke turns 56 today. So I said, Nathaniel, go find out when Patty Duke was born. So a little bit of math told us exactly when this was, and this was on December 14th, 2002. That's pretty clever. To be honest, getting the exact date on everything was not as important to Jeff, but it really was to me. I don't know if it's the scrapbooker in me, but I'm a stickler for the right date. I guess I've done so many chronological albums, it's just what I gotta do. So it was kind of fun tracking those down, and I felt so much better after we did that. How do you feel about that? Do you have to have the right date on things, or do you not care? After Jeff brought me his flash drive full of hundreds of photos, I went ahead and looked through them all just to make sure that none looked totally different that I hadn't seen before. Many I recognized already, so it didn't take me too long. But I did manage to find 32 more photos that I needed to print, and since I'd already placed my big order with Creative Memories, I just went ahead and sent these off to a local photo shop, Walgreens, and had them printed. So I was able to get them, and using a photo labeling pencil, write the date on the back, and now I can file those where they need to go. So the reason I'm telling you this is that it's really important to write that date on the back. I do it with a photo labeling pencil. It doesn't smudge, it doesn't leave an indentation on the other side on the photo. Now the great thing about this, when my huge order from Creative Memories comes in, I'm not gonna have to do this because those dates come printed on the back of the photo, the date the photo was taken. So that's a huge perk of that. I love that feature. But I was able to do it with 32, and now I have been able to file them over here, and everything's looking a little better on the more recent files here. And it's going to look even better after I get my pictures back from Creative Memories, because those are a lot of the more recent photos. I feel really good about what I've gotten accomplished in the first few days. Well, today I did absolutely nothing on it. And yesterday, all I did was put dates on the pictures I picked up from Walgreens. That was it. But it's the weekend and I had stuff to do. Now I'm kind of at a standstill until my photos come in, and I did choose to order them through Creative Memories. I love the quality of them, but I've got to wait on them a little bit until my order comes in. So that could be several more days, but there are some things that I can do while I'm waiting. So first, I'm going to take those big, bulky newspapers and cut out exactly what I need and recycle the rest of it. And that's going to just be such an easy task, but make it seem a little more organized, a little easier instead of having all these big files. And some other things that I can do between now and when I get my photos, I can begin to create a list of topics that I want to cover, because while I'm organizing it chronologically, I realize that's not going to be the way the album's going to be for the most part. There are going to be some sections of it that pull from different years. And a third thing I think I can start tackling while I'm waiting on the photo prints to come in is begin to create an outline. I do this for big scrapbooking projects. If it's a big project like this, and this is probably the biggest one I've ever done, it's a big project, I need some sort of outline to have it in kind of an order, even before I get to the power layout, which is my favorite part of the whole process. So my 3 action items while I wait for photo prints to come in. Number 1, pare down those newspapers and just save the articles. Number 2, I'm going to create topics, different sections of the album or different pages, things like that. And number 3, I'm going to begin writing my outline. So I've got lots of work to do, but first I think I need to go prepare for my Fast Page February that's coming up in a few days, because that is pretty important as well. So thanks so much for tuning into episode 1, this first episode of this series. I hope it was helpful. It's not the most exciting stuff because it's not actual scrapbooking yet, but it is a very important part of my process when I tackle a big project like this. And now let's see what I can do while I wait for my photos to come in. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week for episode 2.